I don't think there were many kids growing up back then who didn't count down the days until Friday night at 7 o'clock, because Friday night meant one thing: the Dukes of Hazzard. The General Lee flying through the air, Roscoe chasing Bo and Luke, Boss Hogg scheming while scarfing down huge turkey legs driving with his big white Cadillac convertible, Uncle Jesse keeping order, and Daisy just being Daisy in her white Dixie Jeep. And somewhere in the middle of all of it was a guy who somehow managed to keep that orange Dodge Charger running.
Franco on, might be crazy, but I ain't done crazy.
Cooter Davenport. This episode is about him. I'm going to call it Crazy Cooter and the Two Joneses. A journey of actually two men who love the Dukes of Hazzard more than anything. Let's do it.
I hear that train whistle blow.
Before there was Hazzard County, there was a little movie called Moonrunners. Writer and director Guy Waldron drew from stories about Southern moonshiners and created this 1975 movie filled with fast cars, whiskey running, corrupt lawmen, and two cousins running afoul of the authorities. Sound familiar? To add to it, it was narrated by none other than the legendary Waylon Jennings. And in the movie was a young actor named Ben Jones. A couple of years later, the director pitched the concept to Warner Brothers as a short series, and it was granted 5 episodes. 5 episodes that were to be filmed in Covington, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. Little did anyone know of its impending success, and that this little 5-episode series would become huge and would run for 147 episodes over 7 seasons between 1979 and 1985.
We're in Covington, Georgia. You can take a look around. There's a lot of Hollywood here. Most notably, I would say, is the filming of most of the original Dukes of Hazzard scenes. So we're in town here checking out the town square, Boss Hogg's Bank, and a number of other things. Come along with us. This is Hazzard Town Square, and that's the Hazzard County Courthouse right there. So Covington Square, which is Hazzard County town, and this is right where the General Lee would have been on the corner. Benjamin Lewis Jones was born August 30th, 1941 in North Carolina and spent much of his childhood around Portsmouth, Virginia. His beginnings were about as far removed from Hollywood as you could imagine. His father worked for the railroad, and Ben described growing up in a railroad shack near the docks in a home without many of the conveniences most of us take for granted today. He navigated young life as well as he could and graduated from Woodrow Wilson High School in Portsmouth, Virginia in 1959. He worked various jobs to save money for college, and in 1960 enrolled in East Carolina College, now called East Carolina University. The following year, he transferred to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He was accepted because of his promise as a writer. Ben hitchhiked all the way to campus, where room 8 in Battle Dormitory, overlooking McCorkle Place and Franklin Street, would be his new home. While at UNC, Ben found opportunities to participate with various clubs and theater venues, having been bitten by the acting bug, and frankly, the rest is history. I remember watching every single episode as a kid and actually meeting Catherine Bach, who played Daisy. She was the first celebrity I've ever met in real life, and it was at some sort of Dukes Fest during the prime of the show at McCormick Place in Chicago. When I saw Catherine a few years ago at Ben's place in Virginia, I told her about that, and she laughed. In my house, I have a lounge, sort of a man cave, that we affectionately call the Boar's Nest. It's crazy, but I recently, within the past couple months, acquired a big sign that says Boar's Nest, and I got it from Ben's business, and he signed it. I'm not sure how far out he signs these things, but this was just a couple months ago, It's now a relic, one of probably Ben's final autographs. Mark Edward Jones was born on May 17, 1967, near Chicago. Throughout his childhood, a couple of things modeled by his father caught Mark's attention and would stick to him the rest of his life. His dad enjoyed old cars and was a firefighter in the community. It's not surprising that Mark, too, embraced the same passion. In fact, they chose the exact same car. You guessed it, 1969 Dodge Charger. The only difference is that Mark's was bright orange with a couple of numbers on the door and a flag on the roof, and his dad was a beautiful dark green. Mark would follow his dad in the fire services, becoming an EMT at only 18 years old, and then would spend the next 41 years in that service, climbing the ranks at various fire departments, including chief of a Chicago area fire department when he unfortunately passed away. I knew Mark for about 20 years, and we often talked about his car and the Dukes of Hazzard. Interestingly, when I worked with him, he was a captain whose responsibilities included overseeing the maintenance of our fleet of trucks. He loved to get under the hood and turn a wrench. Mark Jones was a good man who died of a sudden heart attack earlier this year, 2026, at only 59 years old.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. That is a wrap, 7 years wrap. We're done, we're finished. Dukes is over and we loved it. Hallelujah.
After the Dukes wrapped up in February 1985, apparently Ben Jones wasn't ready to leave the national stage. The very next year, he put his sights on an entirely different stage, the U.S. Congress. He went up against Pat Swindoll for Georgia's 4th district seat and lost. But as you'd expect, Ben didn't give up. 2 years later, in 1988, Ben met Swindoll for a rematch and won. Crazy Cooter became Congressman Ben Jones, where he would serve 2 full terms in the 101st and 102nd Congress until 1993, when he would be beaten, the result of some redistricting, and then the emergence of a head-to-head battle with heavyweight Newt Gingrich. Think about it. In February 1985, Americans could turn on the TV and watch Ben Jones fixing the General Lee. Less than 4 years later, he was taking the oath of office in the United States Capitol.
I like that appearance. I want to be the people's congressman, not the corporate congressman.
Instead, he recentered his focus on the launch of a business enterprise that I could argue was his most successful journey yet. Successful in that, I would say, more than anything, his enterprise has helped sustain the legacy and excitement that exists around the Dukes of Hazzard. Now 40 years later, he opened Cooter's Place, with locations in Nashville, right across the street from the Grand Ole Opry, Gatlinburg, which then moved to Pigeon Forge, and Luray, Virginia. Duke's pilgrims in masses from all over the world come there to see Duke's artifacts and meet the surviving cast in person. Ben has been present shaking hands, taking pictures, and signing autographs since 1999, when he and his wife and partner Alma Viator opened the first Cooter's location in Sperryville, Virginia. It is rumored that the Pigeon Forge location had been scheduled to close at the end of this year, 2026. I'm not sure where that and the others all stand now, but if you want to see it, you may want to book your trips here quickly. Maybe we'll go and do another video. I think that Warner Brothers, the rest of the cast, and all of the fans owe Ben and his beautiful wife Alma a huge debt of gratitude. Sure, while the show was off the charts in viewership and ratings, successful and legendary, many shows are, too many times we hear of the A-list shows ending, and the actors who were once best friends on screen drift apart and never talk again. Maybe reunited at some event 10 or 20 years later. But immediately after Ben's death, Tom Wopat, who played Luke Duke on the show, tweeted out, quote, "The Dukes of Hazzard lost another integral part of their cast today. Ben Jones was a fine friend and fierce advocate of all the best things we can offer in the entertainment business. He will be sorely missed," end quote. In this case, Ben's and Alma's vision have been what has kept the Dukes family together. That's it. Ben gave people a reason to keep meeting together. Whether it was the hugely successful Duke Fest, the barbecues, car show, or just his 3 stores being open, people traveled to see him, to connect and reconnect to the people of the show they all loved so much.
While they weren't related, they both had the same last name, Jones. They both served the public with passion. They both owned mint condition General Lee Dodge Chargers, and unfortunately they both died this year of heart attacks in 2026. Mark Jones died at his home in Chicago on February 23rd, and Ben Cooter Jones died at his home on August 9th, both this year, 2026. Through a statement made by his wife and his business partner Alma, we learned that Cooter died while seated in his favorite old chair getting ready to watch the Braves play the New York Yankees.
As we were sorting through our pictures and videos, we found this recording at Ben's place in Luray, Virginia a few years back. His comments were interesting. Catherine Bach, Daisy, and her daughter were there that day. We got a picture and she signed a die-cast car for us. After spending all day with fans, he climbed up on the stage with the band to sing his favorite song. His comments just before reveal what a lot of us already knew. He had been struggling with health problems for a while. You'll notice here he says, quote, "All I do is go to the doctors," end quote. And then he comments that he's had enough for the day, he can't go on, and that he was going to retire to his favorite old chair. Based on his wife's comments, I assume that's the same chair he would pass away in.
So we'll see y'all when we see you. I'm gonna head on for the house. All I do anymore is go see God. I go see God. Chasing this album around the bar. That's why I have to go see the doctor. Till then. We'll be making our way. The only way we know how. That's just a little bit more. Yeah, that's just a little bit more. Breaker one, I might be crazy, but I am not done. Crazy Cooter coming at you. I'm down and I'm gone, y'all. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Today's Journey's Bible snapshot is Hebrews 10:24-25, and it says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." Hebrews 10:24-25. Ben Jones, who played Cooter, was a believer. There's no doubt about that. He spoke about that a number of times. At any rate, he knew the value of keeping friendships together, and I think that he is a great part of what kept the Dukes of Hazzard legacy alive. He knew what it meant to pick up a phone and reach out to a friend, always keeping that friend group together, and you can tell the love that they had and respect for one another together. So it is refreshing that we have so much Dukes of Hazzard material simply because Ben Jones knew the value of do not give up meeting with one another, as some in the habit are doing, but all the more toward the end, keep that party together. And he understood that clear as day. One of the things that I'll tell you is prior to his death, he had arranged a bash up at one of his places, the bigger place up in Luray, Virginia. And he did this a lot, Duke's Fest and different events. There was one on the books for August 28th through the 30th, and he was going to celebrate his own birthday and the birthday of the gentleman, Sonny Schroyer, who played Enos, the cop on Dukes of Hazzard. That was scheduled, and of course he's passed away, and the family has announced that they're keeping the bash going. So if you are anywhere near Virginia, you may want to head up to Ben Jones's place up there and be part of that celebration of life. From what I understand, Sonny Schroyer, Enos will be there, Daisy Duke will be there, Tom Wopat, and a number of other guests. So I actually have a home up that way, up near Virginia. And I was thinking, boy, I could make that work. And I might go, and maybe we'll make that an episode that we can share here on Journeys. But as I was thinking about it, I was thinking about who kind of got sad, because I started thinking about, boy, who of my friend group, who of my friends would really like to go to something like, who would go if I called you up and said, hey, do you want to go up to Virginia and spend a couple days in Luray at Ben Jones's place? I think there's a lot of people who'd be interested. But I know that I had one friend that would be very, very interested. And if I were back up in Chicago with him, or even if I wasn't, and I called him from across country and I said, hey, you want to join me? That would be Mark Jones. If I had one friend, I know that he would pick up that call and he would be on a flight or in his car and would meet me there in Virginia. So I'm kind of sad thinking about that. He would definitely want to go. But if you've got friends, pick up a phone. Don't let that friend group that one time meant something to you die. And that's what God tells us in His Word. He gives us relationships for a reason. And if they're special, keep them on your mind and pick up a phone, send a text, give an email, reach out. I think it's tremendously valuable. So I really hope that this video plays tribute to two special people, Mr. Ben Jones, as well as Chief Mark Jones. God bless.
Your hot
We hope you leave this journey with more than memories of a place. We hope you've enjoyed discovering the people and the history that give it meaning. Please like and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X to see our latest journeys and to help other fellow travelers discover our channel and become part of this growing community. If you have an idea for a future journey, leave your suggestions in the comments below. May God bless you and keep you safe wherever your journey leads you. We'll see you down the road when we meet again.